Good afternoon and welcome back to the Amputee Angler. I fancied a lazy afternoon today. I was out wrecking yesterday, had a really good day, and a video to that will be up next week. This video is going to be easier to edit, so you're probably going to see this first. Bit of fog behind me. The last day of good weather before it winds up again, gets blowy. And I thought, oh, do you know what? I don't want to go out wrecking again today. It's a long old day yesterday. Great day, but a long day. And I thought, you know what? I've got some frozen lugworm in the freezer. I'm going to go and do a bit of plaice and dab fishing, just inshore. I've literally come out the lock. I've gone 2 minutes right, and I've stopped. That's it. There's zero fuel in this, just drifting around. I've got a couple of ready-made Cox Rawle flatfish rigs. If you're in a hurry, the packet rigs are brilliant. And I was a bit like, do I go, do I not go? In the end, just pick some of these off my shelf, 2 packs of frozen lug, and I'm away. Really easy fishing, drifting around. If we get something, we get something. If we don't, we don't. That's it. These are just flatty rigs, standard sort of wishbone rigs. I've got a few other flappers and whatever else. I'm not really, boat's just gone past, that'll be Vincent on Sapphire. Yeah, I'm not really targeting monsters today, but it would be nice to get a few plaice on the board, so that's what we're going to do. Hopefully we get a few target species. Rig number 1. The design for the beach fishing, these ones, they're clip down wishbone rigs. But this is all the rig is. It's just a bit of line that runs between a little tiny swivel, a few beads and sequins, into a couple of little small flatty hooks. That's it really. And I'm going to put on there a bit of frozen lug. You're not going to see any fancy bait wrapping today or anything like that. It's going to be thumb-sized pieces of lugworm dragged around the bottom, and I will have no say other than the ground that I've chosen. I will have no say in what comes on these hooks. Bit different when you're wrecking. I can make stuff happen wrecking, and there's a lot of variables that I can do that means I catch fish or I don't. This plaice fishing in here, I'm dragging bits of worm around on the bottom. You know, they're gonna be here or they're not, and that's pretty much how my afternoon is going to go. I'm only going to do a couple of hours, but like I said, it is fresh frozen lug. What I mean by that is they were freshly dug when I bought them, and I didn't use all of them in time, so I've frozen them, and they're still good to go. But that's all it is. And the wishbone part of it, it's like a chicken's wishbone, and that allows those baits to slide like that between that swivel. Really good way of plaice fishing. And I'm just going to drop that out the back of the boat. I was rushing today just to get out. I was like, I'm going to go. So I've just used the rods that I've got on the boat, which is my 1220s, which is very heavy for plaice fishing. If I had a bit more prep, shall we say, I'd use my light spinning gear. But they do a job, and they're light tippy rods anyway. So I'm just going to drop that down the back of the boat. We're currently approaching slack water in the next half hour, so I don't suppose we'll drift very far. But so we give it a little flick just to get it away from the immediate vicinity of the boat, and then let enough line out that rather than being straight up and down, I'm at a 45-degree angle. It's a bit like when I'm turbiting and the baits can drag nicely. If you have too short a line out, you're fishing a bit up and down, you'll lift the lead up and you won't have the baits on the bottom. And that's rod number 1, and we are now fishing. Rig number 2 from my box of tricks. It's a Cox Rawle flounder estuary rig. Again, like I said, probably meant for the shore, but they work. If it's got bait on the hooks, then it'll catch fish. Again, just ready tied. Already comes all pre-wrapped like that. Saves me out on the boat spending 10 minutes trying to wriggle those beads on. They are really handy, and these days, quality hand-tied rigs from Cox Rawle, they cost a couple of quid. It'll cost me that in components to do it anyway, plus the time. It's much quicker for me to just have a few of these on the shelf just to pick up and go. So yeah, it looks like a 2-hook flapper rig, to be fair. If I can untangle it. They do come nice and easily to untangle, but me being cack-handed, like that, see, dropped it, pulled it tight into my hand. Yeah, it's just a fancy 2-hook flapper really. So the bottom snood is longer than the top one, which is how you want these, otherwise that top one hooks the bottom one, drags in. Clips it in there, weight on there, easy. Right, this is going on a bit of light gear. This is going on my jigging rod, the little Pen Fathom low profile. But that is it there. It's a 2-hook rig, and I've got a little tiny watch lead on there that I like using when I'm targeting any form of flatfish. I grew up that way, being taught to use watch leads for that, so that's what I use now. No real science behind it. They reckon it kicks up a bit of mud, but so does any weight. Yeah, I'll flick this out as well, and then we're 2 rods out. We've just had a stonking bite on that little rod. I think it's still there. Have a look. A bit like when I'm turbiting, to give it a little bit of lime, gives it chances to grab it again. I'm not in a rush, but it was a proper went over. Now so we go tight to it. We fish on, eh? Yeah, fish on. Target, first go. Oh, beautiful. I love it when a plan comes together. We did it yesterday. We've done it again today. That is a beautiful, beautiful little spotty. First go. Just gave it a little, had the initial bite. And obviously I've got to turn the camera on so you guys can see it, otherwise you don't, what's the point of me filming? Went over to it, I didn't rush, didn't panic, just let a little bit of line off. And what that does is stop your rig dead and the fish gets a chance to have it. And he's actually deep hooked himself there, but that is target. There you go, lovely little spotty, easy to go back. And back he does go. Well, that was a success. We'll do that again, I reckon. It was just flicked out from the back of the boat, nothing special. So you're having it further away so you're not like that. Your baits drag better. We are drifting inshore here though, so I'll have to whip round and go back out in a minute. So another little rattle on the other rod now. But if I was wrecking, that would be a live bait. That is the smallest channel whiting, as we call them, or whiting. But that there would be an ideal little bass bait. Perfectly hooked as well. No faff getting him out. You can have my lugworm, he's earned it. Lovely little fish. I'll put him in a bucket to revive him and I'll get a quick photo. I know it's a whiting, but I'm fishing for these today along with Plaice and dabs. Well, that was the first drift done. Because it's slack water, we've got a tiny little bit of a southerly wind, so it's pushing us into shore. I mean, shore's now, I don't know, half a mile away now. I'm off the shore a little bit now, but by the time you've had a good long drift, you end up a couple of 100 metres off the shore, and then you're into casting territory. So just whiz round, start again. There is no anglers on the beaches, by the way, otherwise I wouldn't have gone that close. But 2 fish on the first drift, Plaice, which was target, and a whiting, which I knew I was going to get. So I've just gone straight out again. Same thing, baits chucked out the back. As long as my angles are okay, and I'll always harp on about that when you're drifting baits like this. See, a lot of people will bait straight down, all you're doing is your lead will just bounce, bounce, bounce. And that's it. Nice easy day fishing, to be fair. We've got this, I'm lucky here at Eastbourne, for those that know the area. We're very lucky inshore. A lot of my stuff is offshore because I do like, that's what I like doing. Getting off, away from the crowds, but actually come out the harbour, turn left or right, or go a couple of miles straight off. We've got some epic fishing, and I don't use that word lightly, but we do have some really, really good fishing down here, and all the charter boats are constantly busy for that reason. Got a whole host of species, and it's going to kick off soon. Next month is April, and we have pretty much everything down here then for all through the most of the year. So I said this year I'd make the most of my little windows, and that's what today is. Fingers crossed we get a few more though. I think we are fish on. Oh no, maybe not. Nope, did have a little register. mind. I just came to this back rod just to sort of put it in my hand. As the bait stopped dead, I had a really sharp rattle on it. I don't know if anything's there or not. Definite attack. As soon as I stopped the bait, got a bit of speed on my drift now, so yeah, we got something on here. Yeah, we got something. Feels spicy. Nope. It's a fair size whiting. There we go. I thought something was chasing it. We've got a bit of speed now. So occasionally, two things you can do when you're fishing like this is you can stop your baits dead by letting some line off, and whatever's chasing it then sees the bait go stop, stop dead, and it will then attack it, which is what this did. Or in the case of plaice and flounder, you can actually give the bait a bit of movement, and that triggers them to strike. I just saw something out of the corner of my eye there, so I stopped it dead, and we've got another whiting. A bit bigger than the last one. I'll put them in a bucket, get rebaited up, and we go again. Tide's really picked up now, so we are shifting a little bit, but that's okay. Just a lazy day. We've got something. Oh, it's target again. Happy days. There we go. It's another one. Oh. Smaller than the last one. Let's bring this camera down. Where are you? It's a lot smaller than the last one, but never mind. So it's target. It's a plaice. Oh, we got another bite over there as well. I'm going to take you. I'll put him in a bucket. Right, he's in a bucket. I've got a cracking bite on the back rod. We'll fish on this one as well. Oh, this one feels a bit better. This one feels nice. Oh, it's a lovely place. I say lovely. It's not massive at all, but lovely on the spinning gear. That's only on the light jigging rod. It's another plaice. Boom. Time for a little McFlurry. Right, he's easy to unhook. So he's done. That was on the 2-hook flounder rig. I'll put him in the bucket. This can go straight back out. I'll get that straight out, and then I'm fishing while I'm unhooking the other one. I always like to have a bait in the water at all times. If I'm unhooking fish or whatever I'm doing, make the most of your time. Bait in the water, I can unclip the rig now and unhook the other one. There's a lovely pair of spotties there. Not massive, but absolutely lovely. I'll put this one back quick. Right, this one, there we go. Beautiful, eh? Lovely orange spots, a lovely prominent frill around there, bony ridge on the back of the head. Can't mistake these, they're lovely, lovely fish. This is all the bits of bait I'm using is. It's literally just some frozen lugworm. I mean, it was fresh when it was dug, clearly. What I mean is, it wasn't bought frozen, it was bought fresh. And I've stuck it in the, I didn't use all of it in one of my sessions, so I stuck it in the freezer. And I'm just chopping it up into sort of, the worm's obviously what, I don't know, 6 inches maybe. Just chopping it in half, and just putting that on the hook. I'm not whipping it up, I'm not tipping it with anything. You know, I might catch more fish if I did that, I don't know. but they don't always need fresh worms or fresh bait. Sometimes better just to get fishing, and the fish will take care of themselves sometimes. Not a particularly difficult fish to catch, but a lot of people will thread whole worms up, tip it off with a bit of squid and the rest of it. Not about that today, mate. Just get out, have some fun. Caught a few fish. That's 2 whiting and 3 plaice now. So we're even target fish heavy really for the day. And another 5-10 minutes and I'll probably go in. But not a bad way to snatch an afternoon and to spend an afternoon really. You can hear the seagulls on the shore, all the sirens and the piers just up there behind me. And it was either that or stay home today, and I said to myself this year I would get out and make the most of the little sessions, and I'm glad I have today. Well, on that note, that is the end of my session today. You might be able to tell by the slight orange haze around me that's coming up. The sun's just starting to lower in the sky. A few plaice, a few whiting, but it's been a lovely afternoon. Not show-stopping fishing by any means, but it is relaxing, it is enjoyable, and you're going to see a bit more of this on the channel, me snatching these little 2-3 hours here, be it bass or pollock on the reefs, placing, tope. But I've had a real nice afternoon. Thanks for coming along with me, I really appreciate it. And if you're new here, please do hit the subscribe button. And if you're already a follower, thank you for sticking around. And I'll see you all again in the next one.